Hello everybody, welcome back to our ride sharing application tutorial. It's a taxi sharing app, and so far we've done our splash page, our onboarding, and our login and sign up page. This is our login and sign up page is where we are. So currently we want to add additional features such as loading button. It shows loading whenever you are registering. When you are logging in, it shows you that loading button. So that's what we want to create. And for that, we'll go ahead and quickly create another folder which we call all. Let's make it uppercase, all widgets. So here we'll be storing all our widgets. So the next thing we add is we add because we want this file to be outside of this sign in sign up page, so we can access it from anywhere in our application without having to reference this sign up and the sign in page. So we'll go ahead and call it progress dialog. Yeah, progress dialog. So it creates another this for us. So next thing is to let's quickly uh, create our material, create our dialog box. So we call it class progress progress dialog. So we want to make it a stateless widget because it's not going to change state. It's just going to show a dialog which will be turning round. So it says this thing is showing us okay, it's showing us that we didn't add our override. So when it shows you this, what you quickly do is add one missing override. It will automatically create it for you, or you can type it yourself. So let's go ahead and clean this up and start coding. So we are expecting for this particular widget, we are expecting the user to provide us with a message which we will display, a message that we will display, and we say progress dialog. This is where we catch this dot message, so we can easily access this particular feature. So you do return dialog, and we close it out here. And for this, we set the background color to black. Let's use black 54. It looks like transparent color. Black 54 looks like a transparent color, and we specify the child for this, and the child is going to be a container. So for this container, we are going to add margin to it, and we say age insert dot all, and we specify 15.0 for it, and then we add width to it. So we are going to measure, we are going to have what we call media query, use media query to get the width of our screen and divide it by 1.2. If it doesn't look good, then we'll have to come back and adjust it later on. So media query dot of context dot size dot width, and we divide it by 1.2 just to be able to add space here and add space here. So the next thing which we are going to do is to add our decoration, and we are going to be using boss decoration for this. And here we are going to have colors dot let's add white. If we see what it looks like, then we can change it later. We have border radius, so our border radius dot circular, and we want it to be 6.0. So the next thing which we will add after our decoration is child for the container. So we specify padding, padding. So we put our property padding, and we'll put edge insert. So we want to add padding all around what we are going to have, our progress bar, which we are going to have 50. And we want to have a row, our child. We want to have a row, we want to show loading as well as the text, the message, which will tell us what we are waiting for or what it is actually doing. Sized box. So with this now, we do width. The width, let's specify 6 for now. We can change it later if it doesn't look good. So we use what we call circular progress indicator. So the value of our value color always stop animation. And what are we specifying for this? We are specifying color. Let's bring it down here so we can be able to see it. We are specifying color, and the colors which we want to use is colors dot what? Everything should be red since we are using red. So size bus, and we have width. The width of the size bus should be, want to put a width in between uh, the loading icon or the loading stuff and the text which we will display. So we are going to display a text, and the text which we are going to display, it's our message which the user will send to us. So text style we are going to use is color. We want to put colors dot let's put red, making everything red. So font size, we want to use font size 14.0. So this is our code for our progress bar, those loading stuff you normally see. So we are going to go ahead and add more features to our sign up page. With this created, what is the next thing we might be needing? We might be needing a toast to display a quick message, but for that we'll create that later. So let's go back to our project here, our login sign up login page. This is it here, login sign up, and these are where we created our widgets which we are using. So we want to create two additional widgets, but before we create them, we want to create username and phone number. We want to collect the username and phone number. So we are going to add a text editing controller, and we'll call it user name controller, and we initialize it as text editing controller. And then the next one is text editing controller. We call it phone controller, and we initialize it as text editing controller here. So we are good to go. So instead of wasting time typing this, I'm going to copy both this user these two widgets here. I'm going to copy it and paste it on top of this place. So we have it twice here and it's showing us error. So we change this to user name test field, and this change to phone test field. So it's going to go. So let's quickly edit our user name test field, and then our enter your, oh sorry, I went to edit the wrong thing. Enter your email, enter your phone number. So the icon here, we'll change it to what? To, no, this is for username, sorry. Enter your username, and we call this account.circle. So these are the two things we need to do. The third thing is to change this to user name controller. so it can capture our username. So that's the third thing we do. So for this one, we change this to our phone controller, here. Sorry. So we change this icon to phone, and we change this text to enter your phone number. So it's okay now. So we want to import these two things we just added into our app here, into this place. So this navigation, we are done with it. We want to put it before this email and password. So we go ahead and do user name text field. We import it. Then the next thing we import is phone text field. If I'm too fast, you can slow the video using the control in settings on YouTube. So we want to quickly refresh this and it should appear right here. Okay, so this is looking nice. This is looking nice. It's looking nice. Uh, but now we can only show this when we are doing sign up and not possibly when we are doing login. We don't want to see it when we are doing login. So what do we do? Since we don't want to see it, we use what we call visibility. Visibility. We have this, and it has a child, and the child, since we are going to capture more than one thing inside, better use what column here. So inside our column, can now specify children, and then copy these two guys, and let me cut it and then paste it here. So we want to use our visibility to control when it's being displayed and when it's not. So for visibility, we have to set a parameter called visible. Visible, let's set it to true and see what it will give us. So when it's true, the object inside will appear, and when it's set to false, well, let's set it to false and see. False, this, it will disappear. So now for us to add this and make it awesome or make it nice, so that when we click on our login, it will not appear. When we click on sign up, it will appear. You remember we did something here. We specify sign up page true. So and over here in our navigation, we change our sign up page from true to false and false to true by clicking on it. So instead of having this here, since we have this as a boolean value and we have a variable that is also a boolean, we can just add sign up page here. So with this value, we can simply control our application. So it's this now, and then so this is what it looks like. It's looking really nice here. So the next thing we want to do is to quickly be able to sign in our users. Be able to sign in our users. Don't forget in our pub spec the YAML file. Okay, we've not imported the dependencies which we need to import, and those dependencies are Firebase core as well as Firebase, uh, Firebase core, and the other one. What's the name again? What's the name? Why am I forgetting this? Firebase core and Firebase. Well, let's quickly look for it and import it. So, okay, let's just see if we can stop here for now. Then in our next tutorial, we will talk about some other how to connect our Firebase or our login, sign up login screen to our Firebase. In the next tutorial, we will be talking about that. Don't forget, this is looking nice. here. And just to recap on what we've done so far, we created a dialog widget which will show loading when we are signing up or when we are waiting for it to load. And also we added additional widget, which is username widget field here. And this is it. We changed the icon to this, and we changed the hint text to this. So when we click on this, we can now start typing whatever we want to. Okay, it's showing this. So that's not looking nice for us. So what do we do to mitigate that? We simply add a single, we add, we wrap this in a widget by, when we click on this, we click on shift alternate enter, and we wrap it a widget. And what do we call that widget? We call it a single child scroll view. And then we specify the physics, what we want it to. So we have a bouncing scroll physics. So let's try and see what happens again when we do this. Okay, so you can see it's not happening again because this guy is now scrollable. You can scroll it because of this feature we just added here. So with this, we'll quickly run through what we did or recap what we've done. We also changed the controller to username controller, and for the phone which we added, we changed the controller to username controller, and then the hint text for phone number. And also I forget to change something here. We want the keyboard type to be what? Phone, and the keyboard type of this guy to be what? Text. And then coming down to password, we want the keyboard type to be what? Text. And now another thing I failed to mention is that let's look at our keyboard. Let's say we want to add password. Sorry, let's look at our password. Now it's visible. This is not how password should work. If somebody is looking over your shoulder, the person will be seeing what you are typing. So we are going to add another property which we call obscure text. So obscure text, I say yes, obscure the text, make it obscured. So when I click on refresh, and once I start typing now, you see it's hiding it. It's hiding it. It shows it momentarily and it hides it. So this obscure text is what we use to be able to hide or show the text which we are entering. And this we also show this will show text. And difference between text and email is that you have this @ sign here, and for number is going to show the phone number text, and for name is going to show you the text. So we've come to the end of this tutorial. In our next tutorial, we'll be looking at how to connect our Firebase and Firestore to this login and sign up page, so we can easily do our login and sign up and move automatically to to our dashboard, where we will start the fun part of the whole of this tutorial. Thank you